Welcome back to Rise and Shine, and it's cold out. If you're just turning on, please pay attention. Put on your red sweater. How about that, huh? Yeah, that's, Dee gave that to me, and I am not a sweater person. Sweaters have always been, to me, it's kind of, it constricts me. But I have found that it keeps me warm. What a unique idea. Well, hello there. How are you?
Good morning.
You're without a sweater or a jacket. Now, this Derwin Hall, he's a friend, somebody I've worked with and around and been, you're looking at two former bankers. How about that? All at once. It's on the same screen. But who are you representing, and what are we going to talk about, Brother Hall?
STEP Incorporated. We facilitate the grant program for the IRS as far as getting free tax preparation. We'll do that starting the first week in February. On Monday, February 4th will be our first night of that.
All right. Now, this has been something that STEP has done for many, many years in giving people assistance in dealing with it. And in short, is that, I know there's got to be a big cost. I know this has got to be something that you're charging people a lot of money to do.
No, it's actually through the IRS grant program. It's free to the taxpayer.
So a taxpayer that has difficulty or doesn't know how, or just maybe doesn't want to but realizes it's got to be done.
Correct.
Whatever the motive, you can go somewhere and pay somebody to do it, or you can come to STEP Incorporated.
Correct.
And you will help them at, again, no cost?
At no cost. And all of our volunteers are IRS certified for the tax preparation. They go through training and classes. And we have accounting students from Ferrum College. Ferrum College has been a partner with us, Dave Salson, and the accounting students at Ferrum College have been a partner for years on this. And so they come down to our STEP office on Dent Street and can get their taxes done. We electronic file, so you get your tax refund back quickly, and you get your whole tax refund because there's no charges for electronic filing or anything else.
Now, this has generally one limitation, and that is the earnings of $50,000.
That's correct.
If you have earned less than $50,000 in the last year, and that would be, look at your W-2s and see what they say, and if they are less than $50,000, this service is at STEP Incorporated on Dent Street.
Correct.
In Rocky Mount.
Right. And we do not do, if you have like a K-1, if you're have an ownership in a corporation, we don't get into a corporate tax return or
Just
it's personal tax returns. Yes, sir.
And how last year or the year before or whenever, do a lot of people avail themselves of this service? I mean, are you seeing lots of folks?
Yeah, but we also have service Franklin County and Patrick County. Between the two offices, we do about 300. We've been averaging about 300 tax returns a year.
Okay, and that's really not too many when you take end to end all the people that could avail themselves of your service.
Correct. We would like more. With the average refund of those taxpayers at about $2,500, you can do the math on how much we're helping and getting returns, tax refunds.
And if you are out there in that position, or you just don't know, this is it's a very inexpensive way to get it done and get it handled and assist you, and there are people that know and people that are professionals that are doing it. And it's easy to find. You know where Dent Street is? It runs right into 40 West. You know where the STEP Incorporated, where the old school many years ago was, but that is now STEP Incorporated? It's Best way I can describe it is if you're on Route 40 and you know where the CVS is, that's the street.
The hill. Mm-hmm.
Just turn right up there, and go right over a couple of 100 yards, and there's the building. It used to be a school many years ago, and it's interesting because this is just a sample of the good things that are happening there at STEP Incorporated, helping the community in so many different ways.
Correct. We have several programs. I want to say one more thing before we get away from a tax program. We will do your tax return turnkey. In other words, you give us the information and we do it. If you want to look more privacy, we also for free have a station where you can prepare your tax return yourself, and then we're there to avail of any questions. If you get stuck a little bit, you know, we're there to answer questions. Dave Sulson has the advanced certification, which is the highest certification you can get with the IRS. I have intermediate for that, and then we have we will have on any given night 7 tax preparers there to help you.
And the certified folks that are able to essentially look at it, check it, sign off on it, and say that it's done. You've got the experts, let's put it like that.
We will have a person who will do your tax return, and then before it is submitted, it's reviewed. By a second set of eyes look at it, and then talk with you about your information to make sure that it's correct, and then it's submitted. And then we'll give you you take your email address, we key that in, and then you can follow your tax refund. Just like following the UPS package, you can follow your tax return to your bank account. If you don't have a bank account, you'll get a check as usual on the federal side. On the state side, now there will be no more checks. If you have a refund, they're going with a debit card.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the state's going without going checkless this year for the first year. So if you don't have a bank account, you'll get a debit card with your refund on it.
So you can then go out and spend it.
Correct.
Wow. Well, look at that. Now there's something, and I profess the fact that I am not any longer in that money business, and I don't know these things. I had no idea that was, I'd heard about it, but not ever known that it had taken place. But the bottom line is you can go to STEP Incorporated, 200 Dent Street, and tell them again who you are or who they should contact.
Well, they could contact myself, Darwin Hall, or our front desk to make an appointment. We're going to try to do it by appointment so people don't come and then not enough slots and then have to come back another night, because we're doing it on Mondays and Thursdays from 4 to 6. And you can contact our office at 483-5142 to get an appointment. We start on February 4th, and we go obviously through April 15th.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is that same Derwin Hall that was in a bank for many, many, many years. And so if you think, I know him, you say, that's right, that's the same man. Doing a great thing, working for STEP Incorporated. STEP Incorporated, is a nonprofit agency that aids people right from providing school for different age people under different circumstances, providing financial support as this, and being in the forefront of things that are good for the community, for people that have need, and in just about every different direction. So I'm very proud of what they do, and I'm glad to see that you're there, because that, to me, automatically, when I see this gentleman, it gives it credibility, because he's a good friend and an excellent person to deal with. So, as they all are. And I appreciate you taking time to come in and remind us that you're out there and able to help.
Right. We do. We have one program people don't know about this time of year. We have a weatherization program too. You know, if your house needs insulation, you know, there's an application process. And if you qualify, you get your house weatherized, you know, the weather stripping, the insulation, so forth with that. And this time of year with cold outside, that comes to mind.
Yeah, boy, and it sure was cold this morning. Well, all kinds of things down there at Step Incorporated. What's that fellow's name? Morris or something like that?
John Morris.
Yeah, John. John's a good man. He runs the place, and he very easy to deal with. And as you know, right from the youngsters in school to on up to other folks that are learning, and but then the amazing thing are all the other areas of assistance, such as tax preparation. So please pay attention. Go on down there and get some help if you need it. And Derwin, I'm real glad to see you, and I'm glad that things are going well, and you look good, and you've been working out, and you've been coaching some football, and
I have.
taking. You're just living the life of Riley now. No longer a banker. That's you know, banking has changed a lot over the years, and a very important area in our life is still banking, and it's. But you really have to keep up to it because whoa. Again, like so many other things, government, it does get involved. So, and not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because the government is involved in what happens at Step Incorporated, and they set up some of the guidelines and some of the ways that you can get help there. So take advantage of it. It will start February 4th and run through February 5th.
No, February 4th through April the 15th.
April the 15th. Okay,
Correct.
I hadn't gotten to till the April 15th side. So
Yeah.
So anytime in that area, and it says Mondays 4 to 6, Thursdays 4 to 6, 200 Dent Street. And again, if you have a question or you want to know why, when, and where, 483-5142. 483-5142. And just tell them what your problem is and what you need help with, and they will tell you exactly how you can be assisted. It's a heck of a good thing to do if you qualify. And it says right on this, for families and individuals that earn less than $50,000 last year. If you qualify, take advantage. It's a big help. Anything else we need to say?
No, again, we do have a station if you want to do your own tax return. That way you don't have to buy the software. It's direct link to IRS and the software they provide. We're getting a little bit later start as all the tax preparers, even the paid preparers, are due to the Congress workout situation. So the software vendors are working with that, but we are going to be ready for the individual tax returns on February 4th.
Okay. And you know, that's like one of those things everybody has to deal with. Everybody does it. You got to file a tax return, so you can get some assistance, or you can get them to do it for you. Go down to Step Incorporated, 200 Dent Street.
Yeah. They need to ask about the earned income tax credit when they come in. A lot of people do not take advantage of the earned income tax credit. We will know the guidelines for that, and they need to make sure and ask about the earned income tax credit.
How do you define what you just said?
The earned income tax credit, that is, that's for individuals, and when it's guidelines for it, and income levels based on the number of people in your household. And amazingly enough, a lot of people that qualify for that do not participate in it. So we need to, when we do the intake sheet and ask you the questions. We'll ask you a series of questions and then know if you qualify for it. Please take advantage of it.
Sure. If it's out there, my goodness,
Right.
take advantage. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, Derwin. Derwin Hall, with STEP Incorporated, emphasizing at this moment tax preparation and the fact that STEP Incorporated does provide it. Now, I'm going to remind you about it. I'm going to keep this sheet right here, and I will periodically be reminding you of it. If you have any questions, 483-5142 is the number to call. Got it? All right, run with it. It's that time of year. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about this and go on to something else, but before we do it, we're going to take a commercial break, so please stay right where you are, and there's some rowdy people out there that are probably going to come in, and we will talk to them momentarily. Be right back.